Okay, Wildcats. Today we're at 6.2 Graphing Square Root Functions Assignment Tutorial. Let's look at question number 1. Let me adjust the lighting a little bit in the camera. Oh, there we go. All right. Select the graph of the function f of x equals the square root of x and g of x equals negative times square root of x on the same grid. Complete the description of the domain and range and the end behavior of each function. How are the functions related? Okay, so let's look at f of x equals the square root of x. Okay, so we can do that using Desmos graphing table. All right. So I'm going to delete this, and then I'm going to put the square root of x. Okay. And now we know there's no negative x values, so we're going to start with the vertex 0, 0. And then we're going to do 1, 2 doesn't work, 3 doesn't work, 4 works, and then 9. Okay, so those are our values: 0, 0, 1, 1, 4, 2, 9, 3. Okay, so we're going to graph those points: 0, 0, 1, 1, 4, 2, 9, 3. So this is the square root of x. Okay. Right? Now, the domain is x greater than or equal to 0, and the range is y greater than or equal to 0. Now, as x approaches infinity, f of x approaches infinity. Okay? Now let's take a look at negative square root of x. All right? All right, so we can go to Desmos graphing table. Oh, don't need that. All right, now all we have to do is put a negative in front, and you can see the values are 0, 0, negative, or 1, negative 1, 4, negative 2, and 9, negative 3. Okay? All right, so we graph those points: 0, 0, 1, negative 1, 4, negative 2, 9, negative 3. Okay? Now, the domain as x approaches, or x is greater than or equal to 0, but in this case, because it's going negative, y is less than or equal to 0. Now, as x approaches infinity, f of x approaches negative infinity. All right? Go ahead and finish up question 1. All right, let's take a look at question 2. All right? Describe the transformation of g of x from the parent function f of x equals the square root of x. When g of x equals the square root of 1/4 x plus 2, it's to stretch horizontally by a factor of 4 and translates up by 2. All right, let's take a look at question 3. All right, describe the transformation of g of x from the parent function f of x equals the square root of x. When g of x equals negative 4 times the square root, camera got it. Okay, g of x equals negative 4 times the square root of x plus 6 minus 2. It's to stretch vertically by a factor of 4, reflect across the x-axis, and translates down by 2 and left by 6. All right, let's take a look at question number 4. All right, describe the transformation of g of x from the parent function f of x equals the square root of x. When g of x equals 1/4 times the square root of x minus 2 minus 2, compress vertically by a factor of 1/4 and translate right by 2 and down by 2. All right, take a look at question number 5. Okay, describe the transformation of g of x from the parent function f of x equals the square root of x. G of x equals the square root of negative 4 times x minus 4. It's compressed horizontally by a factor of 1/4, reflect across the y-axis, and translate right by 4. All right. Question number 6. Okay, complete the description of the domain and range using the set notation. So what we need to do is graph this in Desmos. Okay. So here I'm going to go to desmos.com. Save that. Graphing calculator. And let's go ahead and graph g of x. So y equals the square root of 1 divided by 2, parentheses, x minus 7. Okay, so you first want to look at the vertex. Okay, 7, 0. That means the domain is x greater than or equal to 7, and the range is y greater than or equal to 0. So the domain is x greater than or equal to 7, and the range is y greater than or equal to 0. All right? Right. And somehow it got dark. All right? Let's take a look at number 7. Okay, so again, number 7, complete the description of the domain and range using set notation. So we need to graph g of x. Okay, so let's do that now. Okay, 4 times the square root of x plus 2 plus 4. Okay, and press home. And it doesn't, I don't know why it doesn't want to click on that point, but the point is negative 2, 4. So the domain is x greater than or equal to negative 2, and the range is y greater than or equal to 4. So the domain is x greater than or equal to negative 2, and the range is y greater than or equal to 4. All right, let's take a look at the next question. All right, question 8. Okay, complete the description of the domain and range using set notation. So again, we're going to graph this in Desmos. Equals the square root of negative 5 parentheses x plus 1 plus 1. Okay, and press the home key usually gets us to the point. So here, our domain, since it's going left, okay, is less than or equal to negative 1, and it's going up for range, so y is greater than or equal to 1. So the domain is x less than or equal to negative 1, and the range is greater than or equal to 1. All right, let's take a look at the next question. All right, question 9. Okay, complete the description of the domain and range using set notation. So again, we're going to graph that in Desmos. And we can leave the square root and put the negative 8 in front, x minus 3 minus 5. Okay, and let's press home. We want that point right there. So the domain is x greater than or equal to 3, and since it's going to the right, and the range, since it's going down, is less than or equal to 5. So the domain is x greater than or equal to 3, and the range is y less than or equal to negative 5. All right, let's take a look at the next question. All right, question 10. Okay. It says, select the graph of the transformed function g of x on the grid with the parent function f of x equals the square root of x. Describe the domain and range of g of x using set notation. So I'm going that we want the domain and range of g of x and just d of x. Okay. Now, we've graphed this before, so I've already put the numbers there. All right, so let's do f of x in yellow. Okay. So 0, 0, 1, 1, 4, 2, 9, 3. So there's f of x equals x. Okay. Now, g of x, let's do in blue. Okay, so we need the points for that. So we're going to come back here and we're going to do Desmos graph and table. Okay. So we're going to delete these values. And we're going to put g of x in. So that's negative square root of x plus 4. Okay, now we know it has to start at here, 0, 4, so we're going to put 0. Okay, and then let's use 1. And then 2 really doesn't work, 3 doesn't work, 4 works. Okay, and then 5 doesn't work, 6 doesn't work, 7 doesn't work, 8 doesn't work, 9 works. So let's go ahead and use those values. Okay, 0, 4, 1, 3, 4, 2, 9, 1. Okay, so let's go and graph that. Okay, so 0, 4 is right here. 1, 3 is right here. 4, 2 is right here. And then 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1 would be right there. Okay. Now, the domain for g of x, the important point is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. This point right here is 0, 4. The domain, and I guess I have to zoom out here so you can see them both. The domain would be greater than or equal to 0. And the range would be, since it's going down, less than or equal to 4. Okay? All right. We're going to finish up question 10. All right, let's take a look at question 11. Okay. Select the graph of the transformed function g of x on the grid with the parent function f of x equals the square root of x. Describe the domain and range of g of x using set notation. Okay. Now, we already know the points of square root of x, 0, 0, 1, 1, 4, 2. So there's f of x equals the square root of x. Now let's find the values for g of x. So let's go to Desmos, and we want to delete these values. And now let's change the function. So then we can delete these. So now I have 1 divided by 3, put to the right, parentheses, x plus 2 minus 1. Okay. Now, this is the point we're going to start at. Negative 2, negative 1. So when I put in negative 2, we have negative 1. Okay. Now the next value you want to choose is, let's try negative 1. That doesn't work. Let's try 0. That doesn't work. 1. 1's a good point. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 works. Okay. And I think, let's see if that's enough points. So negative 2, negative 1, 1, 0, and then 10, 1. Okay. So let's graph those points. So negative 2, negative 1 is right here. 1, 0 is right here. 10, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1's about right there. We don't even really need that point. These points were enough. Okay. So now for domain, the important point is this. Negative 2, negative 1. So the domain is x greater than or equal to negative 2, and the range is y greater than or equal to negative 1. Okay, I'm going to finish up question number 11. All right, let's take a look at question number 12. Okay, select the graph of the function transformed g of x on the grid with the parent function f of x equals the square root of x. Describe the domain and range of g of x using set notation. So first of all, graphing f of x 0, 0, 1, 1, 4, 2. Okay, so there's f of x equals the square root of x. Now to get g of x, let's go to Desmos. And delete this. We can leave the square root symbol. We want to put 4x plus 2 minus 4. Okay? This is going to be our first point. So -2, -4. Okay, that works. We can try -1. That works. 0 doesn't work. 1, 2, 2 works. And I think that probably is enough points. So let's write those down. -2, -4, -1, 0, 2, 4. Okay. So let's graph those points. So -2, -4 is right here. -1, 0 is right here. And then 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have our points. Okay. And so now the important point for domain range is this point right here. And that point is -2, -4. Okay. So the domain is x greater than or equal to -2 and y greater than or equal to -4. Okay. Let's take a look at the next question. All right. 2 minutes so you can read that. All right. I'm going to take a few seconds and let you read. I'm not going to read that all to you. I'm going to let you read that. Or I guess, you know what? I guess I should read it. Use a calculator to evaluate the model at the indicated points and connect the points with a curve to complete the graph of the model. Calculate the average rate of change over the first and last intervals and complete the explanation of what the rate of change represents. A farmer is trying to determine how much fence to buy to make a square holding pen with a 5-foot gap for a gate. The length of the fencing, f in feet, requires a function of area A in square feet is given by f of A equals 4 square root of A minus 5. Evaluate the function from 20 feet to 100 feet squared by calculating points every 20 feet squared. Round the fence length answer to 1 decimal place. And round interval answers to 2 decimal places. Okay, so we're going to use this function. We're going to use Desmos graph and table. Okay, so we're going to change this to 4 times the square root of, instead of a, we have to use x minus 5. Okay, and then we're going to plug in 20. And then we're going to plug in 40. 40. And then 60, 80, 100. Okay, so those values are 12.9, 20.3, 25.9 rounds that up to 26.0, and then 30.8, and then 100 is 35. Okay, so let's graph those. So 20, 12.9, which is right there. 40, 20.3 is right there. 60, 26 is right there. 80 is 30.8 is right there. And then 100 is 35. Okay. All right. The first interval rate of change is 0.37, and the last interval rate of change is 0.21. The rates of change represents the extra fence length required for each additional square foot of pen area. The rate of change decreases with increases area, so the extra fence length needed decreases as the area increases. All right, let's take a look at the next question. Okay. All right. Question 14. As a calculator to evaluate the model as the indicated points and connect the points with a curve to complete the graphs of the model. Calculate the average rates of change over the first and last intervals and complete the explanation of what the rate of change represents. Okay. Water is draining from a tank at an average speed s in feet per second, characterized by the function s of d equals 6 square root of d minus 2, where d is the depth of the water in the tank in feet. Evaluate the function for the depths of 2, 3, 4, and 5 feet. Round water answers and interval answers to 2 decimal places. Okay, so we're going to go to Desmos graph and table. We're going to delete this. And then we're going to change this to 6 times the square root, and we have to use x instead of d, x minus 2. And then we want 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's 0, 6. They want 2 decimal places, so 8.49 and 10.39. All right, so we have 2, 0, 3, 6, 4, 8.49, and 5, 10.39. Okay. The first interval rate of change is 6. The last interval rate of change is 1.9. The rate of change represents the increase in water velocity for every additional foot of depth. The rate of change decreases with increasing depth, so the increase in water velocity decreases as the depth increases. All right, let's take a look at the last question. All right, question 15. All right, give all the transformations of the parent function f of x equals the square root of x that result in the function g of x equals the square root of negative 4 parentheses x minus 6 plus 4. Okay, the following answers to that are vertical translation, horizontal translation, horizontal compression, and horizontal reflection. Okay, if you would finish up your assignment and have a wonderful Wildcat day.